Hi, I'm Dave, an experienced business case developer at the New Zealand Transport Agency. Issues are never one-dimensional. Every program is made up of a series of individual components or activities. The business case developer's job is to ensure these activities align to the overall investment objectives so the program can be taken forward. Here's how I use this type of thinking to address a complex safety issue. In this particular example, the program comprised 3 individual but linked activities: a poorly performing intersection between 2 towns, a narrow bridge, and a local visitor attraction, in this case a cycle trail. The investment objectives in addressing these activities revolved around improving travel safety between the 2 towns and support increased patronage of the cycle trail. Ideally, the 3 activities within the program would need to be addressed at the same time to deliver against the objectives. Developing the program required analysis of the activities to understand the critical issues. Firstly, the intersection. The intersection had seen 3 fatalities and 14 serious injuries between 2012 and 2016, a 50% increase on the previous 4-year period. The low level of safety at the intersection had been monitored by District Council A for the past year and was clearly at the heart of the problem. Through Council A's monitoring and our crash analysis system, we had reliable evidence about the source of the problem which all the stakeholders could agree on. The great thing about this was that it allowed us to go straight to a single-stage business case and focus immediately on options analysis. Next, the bridge. While there was a general perception that the bridge between the 2 towns was too narrow, there had actually only been 1 minor incident on the bridge, with a couple of other incidents in its proximity found to be unrelated. An investment logic map, or ILM, completed 6 months previously had led to ongoing monitoring by the Transport Agency and District Council A. Based on the strong evidence collected, there was a good level of confidence that the issue was one of perception, not safety, and in fact the existing layout was promoting safety. Widening the bridge would result in high speeds which, in turn, could lead to crashes on the tight curves on either side of the bridge. The remaining fly in the ointment, however, was the cycle trail access. The responsibility for accessway sat with District Council B, but the bulk of visitors were coming from District A. The Department of Conservation operated the site, and there was a lack of on-site parking, resulting in cars parking along the surrounding roads. Traffic and parking would only increase if the local mountain biking club was given permission to stage events there. Making matters worse was a no right turn for the traffic coming from Town A, pushing visitors into making a U-turn at the intersection and therefore significantly increasing the risk of incidents there. Analysis of this one activity unveiled a complex set of issues that couldn't be addressed through a single-stage business case. Rather, they would require the input of multiple stakeholders to resolve. So, my approach from here was to revisit the business case at the activity level to further clarify the problems and causes, potentially developing a new ILM, to complete an indicative business case and bring together the relevant stakeholders to think collectively and innovatively to come up with a range of options, and then to check in with the decision makers before developing a detailed business case around a preferred option. Every time I tell this story, other business case developers ask me, how much of this do I need to understand to complete a program business case in the first place? They're right to question it because typically you need this type of thinking to close out a PBC. However, it's important to remember that at this stage you are simply trying to work out the best next step for each activity. Anyway, back to the story. Having followed this process and always trying to figure out the best next step, I was in a great position to seek further funding for a single-stage business case for the intersection, to continue to monitor the narrow bridge, and to revisit the strategic case for the cycle trail before putting together a funding application for an indicative business case. So, that's my take on applying fit-for-purpose effort to address a set of investment objectives. Remember, there's no formula for getting things right with the business case approach, or BCA. Keeping an open mind, being genuinely curious, and following the BCA principles is how you can stay on top of it all. To learn about the BCA in more detail, you can look at the online learning modules on Learning Zone at any time. If you don't have access to the modules, request it by sending an email to nltp at nzta.gov.nz. Thanks for your time. I hope you found this useful.